What the fuck is this piece of shit?
A demon of the ancient world. His foe is beyond any other. Run!
Hey guys, it's your boy Dragon here, and yeah, I'm finally reviewing this divisive show after such a long hiatus from uploading due to some real life stuff having to take priority for the last 3 months, but now I'm back in full force and ready to review this garbage because you know what I love the most about reviewing shows like this?
You already know.
This is the real deal. We're in deep shit.
One quick disclaimer, if you end up enjoying the video, then please make sure to do what you're seeing on screen right now, since that lets YouTube know you're enjoying the content, and that way you will be blessed with 7 years of pure bigotry from Disney themselves.
Fun and good for your health.
Without further ado, let's dive straight into the Star Wars madness, shall we? So we begin with the show letting us know right off the bat that the writers involved have never heard of the concept of foreshadowing or even holding off on the good stuff in their show for later on until it's the right time to reveal some key plot points for maximum effect, because the sense of interest your audience could have had for your show has already diminished greatly when you reveal in the second paragraph of the intro wall text that rumors of Grand Admiral Thrawn's return from exile are spreading to the point where Imperial remnants start getting their second wind in defying the New Republic, and it also doesn't help the fact that Disney showed a backshot of Thrawn walking in on one of the show trailers before the show released, which ruins the whole secret reveal point of the plot.
What a buzzkill that was.
However, Ahsoka's on the case again, regardless of that premature reveal, because we're told she captured that witch lady Morgan Elspeth from The Mandalorian Season 2. You know, the one that gave Mando the Beskar spear that eventually gets melted off for no reason in the spin-off Boba Fett show that performed abysmally? Well, she is now getting transported to the New Republic for a trial. But what's this? A ship using a Jedi clearance code that hasn't been used for decades? I wonder what the captain in question is going to do with this highly suspicious sudden encounter.
I'm calling their bluff. Signal them to come aboard. I want to meet these Jedi.
You idiot!
You know, I'm not even going to question why Disney likes to portray the New Republic as incompetent idiots anymore, since they get blown up in the sequel trilogy anyways.
Okay, moving on.
So, the idiotic captain goes into the hangar to greet the mysterious hooded figures and realizes too late with his 6 slightly armored guards that these hooded people aren't Jedi at all. But before he can react, he, his men, and everyone else on the ship end up getting killed by them.
This is ridiculous. You're just making stuff up.
I wish.
Also, how desperate is Disney for viewership that they stoop down to ripping off the Vader scene from Rogue One? Oh, you don't believe me? Fine, here's proof for you naysayers.
Oh, we're going there, are we?
Exhibit A.
Nani?
Oh, it gets worse.
And now, Exhibit B.
Anyways, the hooded figures turn out to be ex-Jedi Baylan Skoll and his apprentice Shin Hati, which I will call from this day on as Bat Swings McGee and Bangs McGee, because one is an old man that swings a lightsaber like it's a bat, and the other one is only recognizable by her hair bangs and resting serious constipated face.
That would be an accurate statement, yes.
Regardless, they end up killing everyone in the ship and rescue the witch with the most boring name ever, Morgan Elspeth, and they do this walk-off scene where she repeats the whole point of this plot yet again because I guess Disney Star Wars thinks their audience is mentally challenged like Patrick Star that they need to be reminded of something that they were shown in a giant wall of text 5 minutes ago.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Moving on, we see Ahsoka in some abandoned temple where she finds this artifact that I'm sure is very important, but before we are even explained as to what this thing is supposed to be, we're just thrown into the first action scene in this show, and let's just say that most lightsaber fights from then on get progressively worse.
That's it?
That's it. That's it.
Did someone tell Rosario Dawson that Ahsoka has more facial expressions during intense situations than a resting grandma face? I'm just asking because she always keeps variations of that same face no matter the intense situation she gets herself in. I do remember the one in Rebels having more facial expressions during fights and being lighthearted in the worst of times, but this is Disney Star Wars, and the treatment they give every character you could potentially love is to make them old, tired, and bitter versions of themselves, apparently.
Sneaky fracks.
However, let's move past this tiny fan-base gripe so we can finally appreciate the fact that despite Disney making Syndulla into an old, tired general, that the remainder of her personality and cake, mind you, were still left unaffected. But don't expect her to do much in this show because she's only in this for a very short time compared to the rest of the Rebels characters.
Oh, come on!
Regardless, Ahsoka tells Syndulla about the math sphere she found in that abandoned temple, and she tells Ahsoka that the only person that can help her is Sabine Wren, who apparently is Force-sensitive enough to become Ahsoka's inept apprentice, despite her very low aptitude being hinted at in the Star Wars Rebels show. But you know what? Who the cares about continuity in a well-established sci-fi universe with concrete rules that explain exactly why only certain types of high-aptitude individuals can manipulate the Force energy around them consciously because of the fact that they have high midichlorian counts? How do I, a non-hardcore Star Wars fan, have more lore awareness of how this basic concept works than multiple writers hired by a multi-billion-dollar corporation?
Because they suck!
Alright, let me speed through this episode, and trust me, you're not missing a ton here. But suffice to say that we get a short scene where the mayor, played by the John Wick 4 dude, Clancy Brown by the way, gives a speech about Ezra's sacrifice to save his planet at the end of Rebels, and when he calls for Sabine to give her speech, he finds out that she just dipped the entire ceremony so she could go riding around her bike listening to some weird Star Wars emo punk rock travesty of a song while ignoring her responsibilities like some rebellious teenager. Oh, you don't believe me? Fine, here's one of my many receipts.
Oh, hell no!
All right, look, Commander, I have my orders. I'm gonna need you to pull over.
Well, here's a new order. Get lost.
Real mature, guys.
She's crazy.
What the bro?
Right, so after realizing that pointless filler scene deleted about 10 of your neurons, we skip ahead to Sabine reminiscing about the past, the bad guys realizing at the ruined temple that Ahsoka will go to Sabine for help in deciphering the map, and she meets up with Sabine after several years to ask her to figure out the map, but then the conversation breaks down after both get into an argument where anyone watching can realize that both individuals suck real bad at being both master and apprentice to each other.
I couldn't agree more.
Furthermore, Sabine decides to take the map to her house, despite Ahsoka saying no to that notion, in order to have an easier time deciphering the map, and then we get a scene where Huyang tells Ahsoka that Batswings McGee is actually a former Jedi who magically survived Order 66 and trained a Padawan like Kanan Jarrus did with Ezra for the sake of the plot so that Sabine and Ahsoka could have multiple fight scenes with them, because I still cannot understand why Disney is so so adamant on making it clear that maybe Palpatine's Jedi genocide effectiveness was all a bunch of pretentious BS.
Idiots doing idiot things because they're idiots.
Anyways, Ahsoka has a talk with Syndulla about how much she sucks as a Jedi Master by giving the excuse that her excommunication from the Jedi Order is the reason for her ineptitude for teaching, and then we finally get to the end where Sabine figures out the location that's hidden on the map sphere, but then she gets attacked by assassin droids who fail at everything except destroying evidence, and this is when we get the infamous duel of the cheap fates that literally blew the internet away once more at how lazy Disney Star Wars writing has become.
What the hell is even that?
No such thing, bad student, only bad teacher.
Yeah, shout the season, man. Tell them about the season, man. That's cap. I accuse you of capping.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
How about no? Catch a fucking break?
After the duel ends, Ahsoka senses a disturbance in the Force and comes to pick up the dying Sabine, which ends this episode, so let's keep going with the Neuron Purge! Okay, so we pick up from the last episode with Ahsoka mourning Sabine's loss and giving her and Syndulla the motivation of going after her killers. Wait, hold on, I gotta answer this random call from the Shield Film Rebels, so I need to step out for a sec. Hello? Oh, hey, Rebel. How's it going, man? Well, that's good to hear, my dude, but I think you called it a bad time to talk about that, because I'm currently working on the episode 2 portion of my Ahsoka review, so I'm gonna have to, Oh, that's what you were calling about? What's going on? Wait, what? Sabine didn't die? But she got a freaking lightsaber run through her lungs and liver, man! What do you mean Disney doesn't give a shit? She should have died quickly from the massive internal bleeding caused by a lightsaber. I mean, Qui-Gon got stabbed the same way by Darth Maul in Phantom Menace, and he died in minutes. Who cares about Qui-Gon? Now hold up. So what you're telling me is that Sabine not only survived a fatal lightsaber stab wound, but was also able to recover fully by the next day, even though in the canon lore, other characters that have survived similar wounds have had to spend long periods of time in bacta tanks to fully recover from a wound like that?
Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
Right, so what actually happens is that Sabine rapidly recovers from her mortal pool noodle lightsaber wound, and when she wakes up, she gets asked by Ahsoka as to what happened at her house, and what she basically says is, "Look, Ahsoka, I'm so sorry to tell you, but these 2 droids attacked me, but I took one of those mofos down, but then the other one escaped and destroyed all the data I collected on the map, but also that chick with the hair bangs got me good with her pool noodle lightsaber and stole the map, so I have no idea how to track them down. Oh, and I'm also sorry that I'm the cause of all this because I stole the map from your ship even though you told me not to."
Useless. Sadly.
Frustrated at having to clean up this mess, Ahsoka goes to Sabine's house to see if she can find some other clues as to where the map may have been taken, until she gets attacked by an assassin droid that she dispatches quite easily, and then we go back to the hospital where now Sabine is going to try to power up this droid's memory core so they can get an idea of where the map is, but she lets everyone know that if she screws up the power levels even slightly, then the entire droid's head will explode.
Are you serious right now?
After almost blowing everyone up until Hu Yang disconnects the wires, Sabine finds out this droid was manufactured in Corellia, and Syndulla tells Ahsoka that it used to be a place where Morgan Elsbeth used to have factories there during the Imperial days, and afterwards she tells Syndulla to meet her there while telling Sabine to sit her ass down this time so she can take care of business. Now that Sabine is all sad and gloomy, Syndulla tells her to cheer up and recover because Ahsoka truly needs her help in this mission, but that she's a very difficult person when it comes to dealing with people like her.
Paperwork! That's cap! Totally cap! That means lie!
Nah man, I'm not letting that bit slide because you know as well as everybody else that the reason all of this is happening is because Sabine f***ed up so hard that the galaxy could now be threatened by the potential return of one of the most intelligent and vicious Imperial Grand Admirals to ever exist. You know that guy has been called many times the heir to the Empire? If I was Ahsoka, I would have done the same thing just to prevent the situation from getting worse. So please, Disney, can you stop sugarcoating Sabine's massive screw-up through some personal therapy session with Syndulla? It's not gonna work on me, alright? You already tricked me with the sequel trilogy, and I'm not letting any writing this incomprehensibly dumb slide ever again.
Goddamn right.
Moving on, we see Morgan Elsbeth do her Space Voodoo Force magic to unlock the map so they can find out where Thrawn is, while Batswings McGee tells his apprentice Banks McGee that their objective for going to this other galaxy's planet, which according to him is from a Jedi fairy tale, is for a completely different purpose, but that going with Morgan is the most effective option, and no, this man is never going to give a hint as to what this hidden purpose of his is throughout the entire episode.
Very interesting.
Going back to our dashing duo, they both arrive at Corellia where they question the new owner of the manufacturing plant about whether or not he employs former Imperial sympathizers as workers, but the man just tells them that most of the people he hires could care less about galactic politics and that they're loyal as long as they get paid for their work. And a few seconds later, Syndulla starts talking to Ahsoka, while ignoring the plant owner's presence completely, about how she shouldn't have been so mean to Sabine, but that she should also take her back as an apprentice because she needs someone that can get her out of her recklessness. All while Ahsoka gives her that demotivated, annoyed glance every single version of a cool Star Wars character has had since the franchise plummeted downhill after the release of The Last Jedi.
You know I'm right.
Meanwhile, Sabine recovers and receives some incredibly sound advice from Hu Yang that's basically summed up as, "Bitch, stop complaining and crying about everything bad going on in your life right now. Yeah, you may be reckless and suck balls at manipulating the Force right now, but clearly Lady Tano and General Syndulla see you as a valuable companion. So please, stop wasting your own valuable time and try to improve yourself so you never have to go through this experience ever again."
This motherfucker don't miss. That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
Going back to Corellia, the plant owner tries to get both women to go away by saying the files they're asking for are classified, but then Syndulla tells him that she's a general that's allowed to declassify the files, and then when the guy calls a droid to follow the proper protocol, Syndulla asks the plant owner if they have any repurposed assassin droids on the plant, to which he denies they possess such droids. However, the protocol droid spills the beans by telling them that it did indeed see the kind of droid they're looking for, and that it prevented the droid from getting its daily task done because it carried a high security clearance that is also on a ship that is about to depart.
What?
When Syndulla tells the control tower operator to tell the ship to stop, they suddenly get attacked by all the operators who, color me surprised, are Imperial remnants.
Surprise!
We are then shown what is probably one of the laziest lightsaber fight scenes this show has to offer so far, and look, I don't know what is wrong with Disney Star Wars, but I really feel like they're allergic to good lightsaber fights, or maybe they're just bad at doing them.
Sensational.
Boring.
That's bad. That's bad.
Excuse me, what?
Meanwhile, Syndulla, along with one of the few good things about this show, Chopper, pursue a ship towing a hyperdrive engine, and they end up avoiding getting blown up by it so that Chopper can comically argue with Syndulla as they place the tracker on the ship. Oh, also, Ahsoka, at the end of her fight with the weird medieval helmet dude, does this slick move where she just casually dodges a spinning lightsaber, twice, mind you, with the enthusiasm of a sloth.
Disappointed!
Meanwhile, Sabine resolves herself to go along with Ahsoka while cutting her hair, the plant owner gets arrested for being an Imperial sympathizer, and the new dynamic duo sets out to pursue the ship with a stolen hyperdrive. Also, Batswings McGee tells Morgan that Ahsoka is coming, and that's how the episode ends. So let's keep going! Alright, so we start this episode off with Sabine barely passing the based Huyang's basic training, and Ahsoka decides to give her butt a nice whooping for all the trouble she's caused her by forcing her to put on the dark visor so she can work on her force perception skills, and let's just say Sabine fails spectacularly, which confirms to me Huyang's assessment that she is the least talented Jedi in this franchise.
Come on now, dawg.
Anger and frustration are quick to give power.
Hey, look at that! Look at that!
Meanwhile, Syndulla goes to a board meeting with many prominent senators, including Chancellor Mon Mothma from the Andor TV show, and they end up having a heated discussion with her about the fact that some of them think that she is fabricating the threat of Thrawn's return as an excuse to use more New Republic resources to continue her quest to find Ezra Bridger, which angers Syndulla to the point where Mon Mothma tells her to go outside for a bit while she discusses the matter with her fellow senators. But then we're introduced to her grown-up son Jason, who also wants to be a Jedi, and look, I know you're probably confused as to why this matters, but trust me, it'll matter 2 episodes later.
Play along, I'll explain later.
Going back to Ahsoka and Sabine, they have a lengthy discussion that boils down to her telling Sabine to not feel discouraged that she can't manipulate the Force like her, because all it takes to be able to achieve her levels of mastery over the Force is hard work and determination.
You need to shut the up!
Naturally, Sabine tries to use the Force to bring the cup to her hand and fails spectacularly at it because guess what, people? According to the lore, the Force is in all things, but only a select few that are exceptionally sensitive or attuned to it that they can actually manipulate it. If you don't have a certain level of aptitude, then you're royally screwed no matter how hard you try at training. So Disney, again, can you stop trying to reimagine the lore just so you can force in another Jedi into your roster that nobody cares about? I know you completely obliterated the already badass established characters throughout the time you possessed this IP, but that doesn't mean the fan base will just blindly accept your Force retcons without questioning them. This is not the freaking MCU!
Yeah, I said it.
Anyway, our dynamic duo and the based Huyang drop off hyperspace where they immediately get attacked by Banks McGee and her gang in what is a very lengthy space battle where I've never seen Rosario Dawson so completely uninterested in reading a script line in my entire life.
Sabine, tell me what you need. Get ready. Ready. We got 2 more incoming. Woo! I got one! Good work.
Come on, you could try harder. Regardless of that, the battle continues on until finally Sabine shoots down the bastards pursuing them, and then they see the massive hyperspace ring that Morgan Elsbeth has built, but before they can get close enough to it, their ship gets shot down by the hyperspace ring's cannons because Ahsoka decided to fly towards it in a straight line.
¡Pero la puta que te parió! ¿Qué?
Sí, señor, sí, señor. ¡Qué barbaridad esta! ¡Carajo, ahora es libre!
imbecile.
After a while, Ahsoka tells Sabine to fix the ship while she goes outside to deal with the incoming enemy ships, and holy baconator, what the hell am I watching right now?
What the was that? Okay?
Okay, after witnessing that unexpected attack to my neurons, we see that Sabine has managed to fix the ship, and the battle goes on with a change of scenery for a few minutes, where the dynamic duo uses the migrating space sperm whales as a way to conceal themselves and eventually escape the wrath of Banks McGee. Also, Ahsoka and Sabine learn from Hu Yang that the purpose of this huge hyperspace ring is to jump through galaxies, provided that the person doing so has the necessary coordinates, and Bat Swings McGee lands on the planet himself to lead a hunting party against them, ending this surprisingly short episode. So you know what? So, we pick off from the last episode where Ahsoka tells Sabine what we already know about the main plot of this show of preventing Thrawn from returning by potentially destroying the map, which would in turn prevent Ezra from ever being rescued in order to mentally prepare her for that outcome should they ever be forced to make that choice. Also, the other assassin droid finds out where our dynamic duo is hidden and tells Banks McGee, who tells Batswings McGee, and the decision is reached that she and the Night Helmet dude will go with the hunting party to delay the dynamic duo so that Morgan can prep the hyperdrive ring for departure.
This is not going to end well.
Sometime later, Hu Yang gets attacked by the assassin droid and is able to hold his own until he gets chokeholded by the droid, but then our dynamic duo pops out to completely annihilate the hunting party and assassin droid just in time to save the only base character in this show.
Really? Oh, thank God! Oh, thank God!
Oh yeah, on a side note, Syndulla disobeys direct orders and takes a fighter squadron led by Captain Teva from The Mandalorian Season 3 with her to Ahsoka's aid, but then we switch to Ahsoka and Sabine getting into a tussle with Banks McGee and the Night Helmet dude, where for some reason Ahsoka decides to fight against his dude with just one lightsaber, despite her fighting style throughout the entire franchise being a dual-wielding one. Yet I can say with confidence that this second fight she has with him is more lazily choreographed than the one from Episode 2.
Wait, what?
One eternity later.
Gosh, this is so depressing.
Thank God.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy!
Goodness me, I forgot Sabine existed for a moment. She has a decent fight with Banks McGee after telling Ahsoka to go on ahead, I guess. I mean, if you ever wondered how two chronically ill geriatric Jedi with massive arthritis would fight each other, then yeah, this is a fascinating fight scene, because at a certain point you start feeling sorry for this franchise lightsaber fights when you remember that before Disney acquired it, we used to get high quality ones that would keep us on the edge of our seats. Now, all these fights do is make us want to get off our seats to watch something else.
That's cold, sir.
Moving ahead a bit, Ahsoka encounters Batswings McGee, and good God, I swear this show provides, because I wasn't trying to find anything extra to prove my previous point about the lazy choreography, but fine, have some more.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. You fucking donut.
Oh my God! Wow!
That's terrible.
For those of you whose brains didn't explode after breaking down those dumb lightsaber fights, Sabine escapes from Batswing's McGee out of shame by using her ninjutsu smoke bomb technique, and Ahsoka is able to screw Batswing's McGee over by quickly snatching away the map ball, which not only stops Morgan from getting the complete coordinates, but it also temporarily disables Ahsoka enough that Batswing's McGee gets up in anger to completely overpower her to the point where he almost pushes her off a cliff because she dared to slowly force throw his apprentice head first into one of the stone monoliths while he just stood there doing nothing for multiple seconds when he could have saved her.
It's stupid!
Oh, and if you think that's stupid, just know that everything that happens in regard to the main plot from now on is Sabine's fault.
Stop! Speed. Destroy it!
Cast it into the fire! Destroy it!
Step away from her!
This plan might backfire.
No!
Gets worse.
Come with me. Willingly. I give you my word. No harm will come to you.
Guess what? You're a
So let me get this straight. Her friend's lost or potentially dead because she made an idiotic choice. She fails to kill Batswing's McGee because she thinks a blaster is going to kill a former Jedi Knight. And to make things worse than they already are, she makes a deal with the enemy that just killed her friend in front of her in order to find Ezra, despite knowing that by following her selfish desire, she may give Thrawn, the heir to the Empire, a chance to return to wage another galactic war.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Look, I'm going to speed through this travesty of an episode by just saying this. Sabine almost gets killed by Bangs McGee, but is saved by Batswing's McGee's mercy. Morgan gets her galaxy coordinates. The good guys arrive so late that by the time they see Morgan's huge ship, it already jumped into hyperspace to another galaxy that caused a big enough shockwave that 2 pilots died crashing into each other. And to top it all off, Ahsoka gets to have a personal spirit therapy session with Anakin in the warp, I mean the world between worlds, so now there's only one thing left for me to do.
And now for something completely different.
What are stories but mystery boxes? There's a...
What a load of shit.
You wanna play games? Okay. Have to play with you.
Say hello to my little friend!
Damn!
Oh, no, I ain't messing with you. Oh, no.
Until next time, I'm a British person. Good night.